Hey everyone, I've just recently finished listening to this audiobook about making money called The Millionaire Fastlane. It's got 5 main ideas that I want to share with you, and I'll go through them very briefly now, and then I'll go through them in depth a bit and just tell you what struck me about them when I was reading the book. So the first idea, whilst it's not possible to get rich easy, it's possible to get rich fast. The second idea is that it's important for us to switch our mindsets from a perspective of a consumer to the perspective of a producer if you want to create value and make money. Point number 3 is that the ideal source of income, it shouldn't be dependent on time nor our health. Point number 4 is that whilst compound interest in the stock market or from a bank is good at growing wealth, it's not necessarily the most efficient way of creating wealth in the first place. Point number 5, when you're learning new skills, it might be better to learn the skills that help you amplify your business rather than the skills that just help you become a better employee at your current job. So let me elaborate a bit more on each of the points. So the first point about getting rich fast versus getting rich easy, in the past, I would have thought that both of them were pretty much the same thing. And then it's a bit scammy when someone said, oh, you can get rich fast or get rich easy. So the takeaway from this book is he clarifies that it's definitely not easy to get rich easy, especially if someone promises that it's not going to require effort or it's going to be fully passive from the beginning, etc., etc. Although he says if you manage to create value and affect a lot of customers and provide value for them, then it's a way to get rich fast. And for me, it seems very logical. And the reason why I remember it is because, and now for me, there's like 2 separate distinctions. Okay, getting rich fast might be possible, especially if you can create value. Getting rich easy, I mean, the problem with that is easy is also subjective, right? So what's easy for me could be hard for you. What's easy for you could be hard for me. But normally when someone says it's easy, they're basically trying to sell you a dream that you can be lazy and do nothing, etc., etc. So at least for me, I have a bit of hope because he says it's possible to get rich fast. If you create value for people. The second point flows from the first point. So to switch your mindset from the mindset of a consumer to a producer, it's like you've got to think about creating something that someone else is going to find valuable rather than just consuming stuff that you find valuable that others have created for you. So if you create it, then someone might exchange money for it. So he's like saying, instead of like purely consuming like articles, books, etc., then why not produce articles or produce book summaries, etc., etc. Or instead of just learning, consuming courses passively, then create a course that someone else can learn from. And with that mindset and with that habit, I guess the idea is it would lead to the value creation that would benefit someone, and that would be sort of like doing your business. Point number 3, I read in the book that the ideal income is the passive income that's generated while you sleep or generated while you're taking a holiday, for example. The thing in the book when the author was talking about it that stuck with me was he was also saying something like, oh, what happens if you get sick? Or what happens if you have health issues? Then you don't want your income to be dependent on your health if you can't work. And then that reason struck me as an extra motivation to, I guess, try and make more money or try and make money passively. So point number 4 was basically about the compound interest gains that you might be able to get from the bank or the stock market. I think he was just making the point how compound interest is very powerful in the long run and you could make a lot of money. But if you're comparing it to the money you could make by making a business, then the returns on a business would be way higher. And the role that compound interest would be to grow existing wealth. Like it would make sense if you already had money to try and grow it in the stock market or in the bank. But if you want to make a lot of money more quickly, then perhaps compound interest isn't the best strategy. And the very last point is a point about learning and education. So for me, I'm always learning new things. And usually I have it from the mindset of, oh, I've got to learn this skill because this skill is relevant to help me get a job easily, or this skill is going to be relevant. So I have a lot of flexibility in terms of job offers. But then here the author made a point. He's like, you should learn skills that amplify your business as opposed to the skills that help you become a better cog in the system. So I think for me, this just means I might be more motivated to learn extra type of skills because the ones I've learned up until now, they've helped me get a job easily, which I think is very valuable, and have a lot of job options. If I want to try and do a side hustle or create a business, etc., then I'll be a bit more conscious about what kind of skills I'm learning because it's going to be the different skills to the ones that I've been used to. Anyway, so those are my main takeaways from this book. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.